Welcome back to The Entrusted, the podcast where we explore the people, the moments, and the values that shape us as leaders, learners, and difference makers. I'm your host, Pamela, and I'm so glad you're with us today for a very special episode called Up and Comers. Our next generation of leaders is what we're going to be talking about. And we often talk about what it means to lead and serve faithfully and to have a lasting impact. But today, we're turning the spotlight toward two incredible young people who are already living those values in big ways. First, we're joined by Mason Kiewit, a graduating senior from Westminster High School, whose journey in academics, athletics, and service is nothing short of inspiring. A two-time league offensive MVP and all-state football player, Mason has shown leadership on the field and in the classroom, graduating with honors and completing college work before he gets there. He also created the beloved Turkey Bowl at his school, which is an inclusive event with the football team and the special needs students, and that is such a beautiful thing. And we also have Sophie Lohman, and at just 13, Sophie's already making waves with her positivity, and she's committed to excellence, and she plays golf, and she does cross country and volleyball, and excels at dance and piano. And we're just wondering what it is she doesn't do. She's also excelling in advanced classes or simply lifting people up around her with kindness and joy. Sophie embodies the heart of a servant leader in everything she does. And one of the things these two leaders have in common, besides the incredible humans that they already are, is that they both have strong, wise, and faithful moms who've served in school principalships and district leaders. And it's no surprise that their lives reflect the influence of that kind of legacy. So today, we're celebrating what's ahead because the future is bright when young leaders like Mason and Sophie are stepping forward with courage, humility, and purpose. So let's jump in. So first of all, Mason and Sophie, thank you for being with me today so that we can talk about some things that I think will benefit our audience. You know, we have folks who are in leadership positions who are hopefully watching and listening today. And we also have people who are thinking about maybe that next leadership role, no matter where they are in an organization or a school district or beyond in a business. And I thought it would be fun if we could talk for a few minutes about what it is you think a good leader's made up of. Like what kinds of qualities do you think good leaders have? And so if I'm going to start with you.
So I would say like a good leader has good communication, like somebody who's easy to talk to.
Okay, so approachable, maybe, like that. What about you, Mason? What do you think?
I would say a leader is somebody who's very understanding, understands that everybody comes from a different background, maybe a different situation, has different stuff going on, can just connect with a lot of people differently, and knows how to communicate with people.
Yeah,
ties
so
into
maybe
communication.
having that empathetic or compassionate ear
Yep.
for people. Everybody's got a story, and I think it's important sometimes to have leaders find out what those stories are. So when you say communicate, Sophie, are you thinking about how they communicate with lots of people or one-on-one, or what are you thinking about with communication? Is it spoken, written? What do you think?
Just like somebody who's like easy to get to through your highs and lows, always there to like understand you,
Yeah.
either written or spoken.
Yeah. Do both of you, this is for both of you, do you have certain teachers you've had where it's been easier to go to some that you've connected with than others, but have you had those relationships with teachers?
I had a really great relationship recently in my senior year with my English teacher, Miss Heller, and she was just somebody who always lent an ear to me and was somebody who I felt very comfortable coming to and talking to, and something that she always told me is like, I don't even have to give you a response, but I'm always going to be here to listen. And that was something that I thought that was really impactful to me. And she's a leadership role model to me. If I had to point somebody out, is Miss Heller. She's a great lady.
Yes, she is. I know her. Yeah,
Yeah.
she is a great lady. That's awesome. What about you, Sophie? Do you have special teachers that
Oh my
you've
gosh.
been able to go to? You probably do now, I'm thinking. You know.
Yes. My honors math teacher, Mr. Mays. Yeah. So honors is pretty difficult sometimes, but I'd say like he's always trying to make me laugh and always there to like help me feel better about what I'm doing that day.
Yeah. So even when it's tough, he kind of helps you get through it and over the hump.
With really bad corny jokes.
Like dad jokes.
Yes.
Yeah. I know all about those. So tell me about some other qualities. I heard communication and approachable, and I heard empathy and compassion. What do you think makes a great leader? What are some other things you think?
Integrity. Doing something that's like good for the whole group, but not just like themselves or one person.
How about that? Okay, that's a fairness issue in some respects, right? So, what about you, Mason?
I think somebody who's very self-driven, like has an internal drive to them that keeps them going, isn't motivated by like external factors. I just feel like if you're going to be a leader, you have to have a drive to pick everybody else up.
Yeah. Okay. And that sounds like a team captain or something right there, I think, because you kind of have to look out for your teams too, right?
Yeah.
I've seen you on the field do that, but I've also seen Soph do that with volleyball, I think, too, where you encourage your other peers around you so that you can all get better.
Yeah.
Is that kind of the thinking there? Yeah. So integrity, Sophie, that's a big one. In fact, in the research, honesty and integrity are at the top of the list. It doesn't matter if the leader's in politics, in business, in schools, or anything else. It doesn't change. Leaders and leadership characteristics go across any industry. How about that? So, do you have leaders that you admire? You said Miss Heller.
Yep.
Yeah.
I would say, I mean, I know we're gonna get to this later, but my mom, obviously, I get to see her every day. She's a great role model for me, a great leader that I get to see in the building, and a very hands-on. The way that she talks to kids and makes everything a personal venture for her is really inspiring to me as a leader.
That's great. That's great. Good role modeling, huh?
Yeah.
So, what about you, Steph? Do you have leaders you admire?
Well, obviously also my mom, but like when I go to, what's it called, Take Your Kid to Work Day? Yes, I see her a lot in there. And I think she does a good job of putting her foot down when she needs to, but also like being open and silly and fun when she also needs to too.
Yeah, there's a line I like with leaders. You know, our work sometimes is serious and sometimes hard, but it's sense of humor. Don't leave home without it, because we're all going to need it. We all need to laugh, right?
Yeah.
Right? So what do you think? Tell us about a moment, Mason, as a captain or a player on your team, where you had to build your fellow players up, especially if they are being too hard on themselves.
I remember time I'd always have to build people up is right after we did grade checks. Oh my gosh, my coach would rip into them so bad.
So eligibility,
brutal.
right?
Yes, eligibility was the biggest thing that was one of the biggest things we struggled with, especially my sophomore year. And I remember coming in my sophomore year, kind of being the new kid, and it was hard to try and be a leader, but that was a tough situation where I had to try and help out and pick them up after they were maybe feeling down on themselves, maybe going to their class, helping them out with some extra work, stuff like that.
Yeah. What about you, Soph? What do you think? Have you ever had to be there for somebody else who was having a hard day?
Oh, in volleyball, oh my gosh, it was either you make the serve or you don't. And so what I would do is I'd start a chant, and I'd chant for them, and then, I don't know, just...
It gave some positive energy in the room. Yeah, and did everybody else join in the chant too?
Yes.
With your team? Yeah, that's a good way, a good positive way. I don't know what it is about girls' teams, but all our kids, including your mom, used to have these chants in softball. It was just always going on. Not so much with the guys. It was always the girls' teams. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But that seemed to be an uplifting thing to do. What about picking you guys up? Because, you know, you don't get to where you are without stumbling sometimes. That's called learning, right? And sometimes when you wipe out whatever that is, where's your support from? Do you have people who've helped you along the way? What do you think, Mason?
Somebody who really helped me was my dad. He was a big role model for me for especially football aspect of my life. He went and played college football, and his dad played college football, and I just learned a lot from him. After every bad game, I'd go home and have like an hour session of film, which at the time I was like, shoot, this sucks. But looking back on it, I really appreciate it. And I mean, he was the best guy to me. He would always pick me back up after I had a tough game. I mean, I had a tough moment in life. He would just be like, "Do you need me?" And I mean, something he always told me is like, "I'm gonna show you that I love you. I'm not always gonna be the biggest voice about it, but I'll always be here for you if you need me." And he was somebody who was always there. He always stuck to that word.
That's neat. That's neat. What about you, Soph? Has anybody ever picked you up and helped and support you?
I would say my papa. Mm-hmm. I don't know, he's just always there helping me push through hard times or get past something.
Yeah. He's kind of good at that, huh? Cheerleader? Yeah, I get that.
Always there.
Yeah. So let's turn the tables now here a little bit. Talk about the kind of qualities your mom's demonstrate at school. You alluded to one where she's very personal with kids.
Yeah.
And probably knows their name and knows something about them, probably knows the name of their dog or whatever it is, right? But what other qualities do you think make her a successful leader?
I think she's very resilient. Seeing everything that she goes through as a principal, it's pretty crazy, from the hundreds of emails you get a day to the hundreds of calls, hundreds of complaints. I mean, I think just seeing the way that she deals with it is very impressive to me, and I think resilience is a very important quality in a leader. So I think that would probably be one of the qualities.
Yeah, because your high school's a big high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a small town, isn't it?
Yeah.
So a little bit like that. So resilience, that's a good quality to have.
Yeah.
I think we all have to have that, right? What about you, Soph? What have you noticed about your mom?
Okay, so I would say that even though she's always super busy with like meetings and working with teachers, that she always finds time to meet with kids and get to like talk to them. And I would say that like for most kids, she's very truthful and trustful.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so she's like very open to them.
Yeah. What do you think the hardest part of their jobs is? What do you think the hard things are in leadership?
I think it's seeing the people that like you're leading or that you care about struggle or have something happen to them, because I know plenty of times when a student or a former student has had something happen to them, and it's the first thing my mom tells me in the morning because she's super upset and she was up all night before. And I think that's definitely the toughest part about her job is the students that she cares so much about, being in situations that maybe they get hurt, or sometimes they pass away, and it's just very difficult situations for her.
Yeah, that's the human element in it, isn't it? Yeah, for sure. What about you, Soph? What do you think some of the hardest parts of leadership are for your mom?
Yeah, I would agree with Mason, but also like getting everybody on the same page. Like I know not everybody agrees with what she says. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times it's really hard to get them on the same page and have them like do everything that my mom says.
Right, be in unity, right?
Yes, and like agree on what's best for the school, what's best for the kids, community. So yeah, I would just say like getting everybody together.
That's pretty insightful. That's pretty insightful. Well, let's do something fun now. What's the silliest thing you think your moms do in leadership? Because there are all kinds of weeks you have in school, right?
Yeah, I'd probably say the dress up days that she participates in. She has some pretty wild outfits. It's pretty crazy to see, for sure.
Give me an example.
I actually have a wallpaper of my mother in a costume. Let me see.
Your phone?
Yes, I do. Let's see if I can find.
I love that. Oh,
She's in a wolf. I don't know if you can see it on the camera.
because the mascot's a wolf.
But it was Halloween, and it was a giant wolf blow up, and they were all participating, the staff. It was super cool. So,
oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Is it fun? Does it make leaders more human when they do stuff like that?
Yeah, I think it really gives more of a sense of community, because when you see like your leader doing something that you're doing, or seeing something that everybody else is doing, I think it makes you want to follow that person more, seeing it as a more personal aspect.
Yeah, and Sophie, what about your mom? Have you seen her do anything silly?
I would agree with Spirit Weeks, but also like during like events like Halloween, when like all the teachers like decorate the doors and like go trick or treating. I would say that it's pretty funky up in there.
Pretty wild.
Yeah.
And they all dress up and stuff. Yeah. Okay.
Scaring each other.
Yeah. So what have you seen your moms dress up as? I heard a wolf over here.
Oh my gosh, so many things. I don't really remember what the name is, but I don't know. It was like a duo back in the, I don't know.
If you say back in the 90s,
like
I'm
80s
gonna probably
maybe?
cry. Yeah.
I can't remember what it's called. But her and Cody did one, and then she was dressed up like a minion.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, there's a funny
The
one.
Minion's a good one.
Minion's a good one for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
So, one of the things I want to do as we close out, I have just a couple more questions. First of all, what's your hope for your leadership future? You've got to go through high school. He's getting out of high school, heading to college. So let's take it. Whoever wants to start.
I hope when I go out to college, playing football out at Shattern, I want to be somebody that people can rely on the football team. Like, if somebody needs something, like they turn to me, or if somebody needs like just a shoulder or something like that. Like, I want to be somebody who people turn to. I just feel like that's a good quality to have as a leader.
Yeah, that's a great one. And for the audience listening, you're attending Shattern State,
Yep.
right? And playing football there, so on a scholarship. Very good.
Yep.
Very good. Congratulations
Thank
on
you.
that. And Sophie, what about you? As you are getting ready to wrap up middle school here pretty soon and heading into high school, what are your hopes for the future?
Okay, well, hopefully it's really easy because nobody likes homework. But I want to be present in like all of the school activities, like games. Yes, like I don't know. I just feel like dances at middle school, people either go or they don't go. I want to be somebody who always goes.
That's great. That's great. And then finally, talk about your plans this summer. You start, Mason.
I'm gonna plan just work as a bus para, work with the special ed students, and work as a para managing the buses, getting them to and from school. And then July 6th, I'll be going out to Shattern and getting that chapter of my life started, getting the college freshman year started. It'll be pretty fun, pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing when you switch schools or switch levels. Like when you leave Rocky Top and you head to high school and you heading to Shattern State. It's like you've gone through it, right? And you're here. And then guess what happens when you get to the next place? You got to start all over again.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
It's like being a freshman again.
Yeah, exactly.
And guess what? Life's that way too. So if you take a new job and maybe you were here in the last job, guess what? Start over again. And I know your mom has a promotion coming up this coming fall. And so even though she's been doing this for quite a few years,
Yeah.
she's going to have to learn again. So it never stops. That's just the way life goes. So Sophie, what are you doing this summer?
Okay, so mostly traveling because I go from the Bahamas to Kansas City to Kansas and then to South Carolina with you. So, I don't know, it's just very
Busy.
a lot of things. And then I got volleyball camps, just golfing.
Yeah, a lot of busy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then August will be here before we know it, won't it? So now let's switch to advice for anybody listening or watching today. What would you tell them to do to be a great leader? Because they're working with kids probably, or in some other aspect that supports kids.
I would say just to not judge people from who they came to be, because everybody has like a path in life and they might not be at their peak yet, but you could impact that. So I wouldn't make them start all over again and build them back up.
Okay, that's great. What about you, Mason?
Sophie kind of mentioned it, but the impact, everything that a teacher has said to me or like done, even the small things, I know like the impacts that it's had on me. So, and when especially as somebody's in a leadership position, I think it's super important to remember that everything they do, little, small, every action, every word has an impact, good or bad. And I think that's just something super important that should be remembered.
Yeah, someone once said the higher up you go, like in leadership roles, the more gently you must reach down. You don't realize sometimes some of those interactions are happening, but later down the line, people will tell you how you made them feel.
Yeah.
In other words, yeah. So that's great. Well, I am proud of both of you. I appreciate you being with us today, and I also want to thank the audience of The Entrusted. I know all of us are issued just a certain number of heartbeats, and you chose to spend some of yours with us today. And I thank you for that. And the way I used to wrap up every team meeting I had was with these words: rock on with your bad selves, because the work you do is really important.